Okay, welcome back to Armed Citizens TV. My name is Marty Hayes, president of the Armed Citizens Legal Defense Network, and we're doing this in conjunction with the Armed Citizens Educational Foundation. With me today is Massad Ayoob again, and we're going to cover another topic that is very important to our armed citizen behavior after we've been involved in a self-defense incident, and that is to be the first person to call 911.
Well, it's critically important, Marty. When I get calls from attorneys looking for an expert witness, the single scenario that I most often get is the client did the right thing at the scene, and what usually happens in these cases, DGUs, defensive gun usages by civilians, will generally end as soon as the opponent realizes that he's about to suffer a sudden and acute failure of the victim selection process. The suspect flees, the citizen goes, phew, puts his gun back away, and leaves it there. And what they don't realize is the opponent is very, very likely, as soon as he gets out of sight, to hide his weapon, call the police, and say, a great big guy in a blue shirt attacked me for nothing, and he pulled a gun on me for nothing, and I've got his license tag here, and I'll testify against him in court. The cops come to your house and say, buddy, we'd like to talk to you about a certain incident. And you're saying, oh my God, he ran me off the road? Really? Assault with a deadly weapon to a motor vehicle? Yeah. He came at me with a tire tool? Really? Second count of assault with a deadly weapon? Tell us more. Yeah, I had to draw my gun before he ran away. Really? And you didn't call us. You're under arrest. Click. Essentially, what we have to understand, first, it's counterintuitive for the private citizen to picture the bad guy calling the police. They've got to realize that first, the bad guy may not have a criminal record. Ask yourself if you know someone who lives in your neighborhood who's made it his life's work to harass all the other neighbors, and he's never quite crossed the line to where he's ever been arrested, charged, or convicted for anything. But let's say you do get a career criminal. They have been going through that revolving door of the criminal justice machine since they were juvenile offenders. They know how things work, and they don't appreciate your having turned the tables and beaten them at their own game. What you've got to understand is whoever calls in first gets to be the victim, or if you just can't bear that V word, the complainant. The system is geared on whoever made the complaint is presumed to be the victim. Whomever is complained about is automatically the suspect. And it carries right on from there. And it creates a very, very steep hill for your defense team to climb. It's critical in any situation where you've even had to show the gun or even mention that you had a gun, for you to be the one who calls in and states whatever this person did that caused you to draw the weapon. This man attacked me, this man ran me off the road, this man threatened me with a deadly weapon. Here is his description, and I will sign a complaint, or whatever terminology is in vogue in that particular jurisdiction. There are only two roles open in the play, folks: victim and perpetrator. Only the National Rifle Association in their Armed Citizen column has a role for heroic armed citizens. If you don't call in and be the victim, or at the very least the complainant, if, as I said, you can't bear that V word, you're automatically going to become the suspect.
We just had, within the last month, one of our network members involved in exactly this type of situation. He had been involved as a witness to a traffic accident, and he was armed, and he went out to the scene, and all of a sudden the individuals started becoming very belligerent and aggressive towards him, and to the point where one of them had a knife and he had it in his hand and he was making threatening gestures. Our member drew his handgun and said, guys, you don't want to go here, words to that effect, at which point then the situation calmed down and he instantly called the police, as he should have. Well, he was talking with me on the phone while the police showed up to the scene. And so it turned out great for him. He called me back later and said, hey, don't worry about it, Marty. Police said there's no problems on my end. And I think it was his his instant calling of the police to report that he was the victim of this crime, this assault with a deadly weapon, that allowed him to not suffer any legal consequences at all.
That is simply how it works.